Hey guys, Chris here. Now with a brand new facelifted Polestar 2 on the market and a new facelifted revised Tesla Model 3 just revealed, why don't we do a comparison between these two cars to see how they stack up and which is the best electric car for you. Now let's kick this video off by talking about the exterior design. So the Polestar 2 first, with its update, got a new front grille area and also new wheel designs. That's it, no other changes, and it's still a very attractive car and one of the best looking electric cars in my opinion. I really love the design of the Polestar 2. I think the grille is a little bit of a downgrade. I prefer the old look, but it's still a very attractive car. And since it came out in 2020, it's the newest of these two cars, and it didn't need much of an update to stay fresh. The Tesla Model 3, though, a different story, came out in 2017, a much older design, and was really in need of a refresh. And what a refresh we got. A new front fascia with new headlights and also a new rear design. New wheels and new colors. This is a very big update to a car that, well, not the most exciting, a little bit bland, and since there are so many on the road, especially here in Norway, it's a very boring design. This new design is a nice update, and I actually prefer it slightly to the Polestar 2 now when it comes to exterior styling. The interior of the facelifted Polestar 2 is completely unchanged for this refresh, and that is good and also bad. The good thing is that it's still a high quality, modern, well-built interior that feels super solid with really nice materials. And even though it's quite simplistic and minimalistic in its design, they've used layers of materials and just, design lines and cues to make the interior very interesting. Also, the seats in the Polestar 2 front and rear are one of the best, most comfortable and supportive for short and longer trips of any car I've driven. And I've driven a lot of cars here on the channel. Also, the front cabin and rear cabin are a little bit cramped, especially compared to the Tesla Model 3. And front practicality in the Polestar 2 is still, well, the same as before, completely unchanged. So you have that large center console that for taller people with long legs is a little bit intrusive. Also makes the cabin feel more cramped, more cockpit-like. Some people may like that, some people won't like that, but what it really does with the center is that there's no storage, very little practicality, and that is a missed opportunity for the facelifted version where they could have updated that, because that's something a lot of people complain about when it comes to the Polestar 2. The Tesla Model 3, though, is very much refreshed on the interior with a new updated dashboard design, new door designs, new upgraded front seats with now ventilation, and also the rear seats are a little bit changed to improve seat comfort. But the seats in Teslas are nothing compared to the seats in the Polestar, so don't, expect a huge upgrade when it comes to comfort and support. Though the perforated seats now, which are also ventilated in front, are a huge and nice upgrade from before. So it's still a very minimalistic design. Some people may like that, other people may think it's a little bit boring. We have a new steering wheel design also, which is more attractive. So overall, it's an improvement on the interior, and I can't wait to check that car out in real life when I get my hands on one. The combination of a great infotainment system screen, a dedicated driver's display, along with one of the best route planners on the market makes the infotainment system experience in the Polestar 2 the best on the market. Combine that with the functionality of physical steering wheel buttons, traditional stalks and switches, window controls, mirror controls, a dedicated gear selector, and a large volume knob makes the functionality, tech, and ergonomic experience in the Polestar 2 superior to the Tesla Model 3. It's not even close. And a lot of Tesla fanboys out there are maybe watching this video like raging at their keyboard. They're like, no, Tesla have the best infotainment system screen or system out of any car. And the infotainment system in the Tesla Model 3 is very, very good. But because everything is buried in menus, and now with the new facelifted version with the updated steering wheel, they've taken away your stalks, so you don't have blinker stalks, you don't have wiper stalks, you don't have a gear selector. Everything is either in the menu or on the steering wheel as buttons. Just is hard to live with on a daily basis. It's not even close. And you can't just look at one system and then just crown a victor because maybe the actual infotainment system experience may be better like that isolated, but it's all a combination because you're using functions in the car when you're driving where they are readily available. And if you can do this on the steering wheel or this on the stock instead of pressing a button or going into a menu, that is always preferable. So this isn't even a close comparison. Polestar 2 walks this easily. Before we continue this comparison, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Elton, which is the most awesome charging app if you live in Norway, Sweden, Finland, or Denmark. And I'm actually going to the IAA tomorrow to Germany, and I'm going to drive through Denmark and Sweden, and I'm going to use this Elton charging app. It's super easy to use. One charging app lets you charge at almost all charge point operators in these countries with one charging interface with one registered card. It's super simple, super easy, and if you travel with an electric car in any of these countries or plan on traveling between these countries, I would highly recommend you guys to check the Elton charging app in the description box down below. I'm going to put the different configurations of these two cars on screen now. Currently, we have 4 different versions of the Polestar 2 available and only 2 versions of the Tesla Model 3. But we're probably going to see a performance version of the Model 3 in the near future. And these cars are very close in some regards and in other regards, not that close. But if you configure and spec these cars similar with similar size wheels, so 19-inch wheels on both, the range numbers are even closer than in their standard configuration, where the Polestar 2 has 19-inch wheels as standard, 20s as option, and the Tesla Model 3 has 18s as standard and 19s as option, and probably 20s with the performance version when that will be available. So some people may not care about wheel size at all, and other people may think that it's only fair to compare the same size wheels, because if they're going to buy a Tesla Model 3, 18-inch wheels really isn't an option, and they want 19-inch wheels. Then it's very, very comparable, the numbers. But it's still very interesting to see, because overall, I think the performance of the range and also charging and just efficiency of the Tesla Model 3 is still better than the facelifted, updated version of the Polestar 2. I've only driven the facelifted version of the Polestar 2 for a few hundred meters before something terrible happened and I had to give the car back to Polestar. So if you want to find out what happened, go to the video in the description box down below where I explained that. And also, I haven't driven the new version of the Tesla Model 3, but if we compare the old cars and we, consider what's been said from the videos I've seen of the new Tesla Model 3, they're going to be closer when it comes to driving. So the weakness of actually both of these cars has been road noise, where the Tesla has been a little bit worse than the Polestar. The Polestar has been better when it comes to road noise, and the road comfort, the ride comfort of these two cars are also very different, where the Polestar has really nice ride comfort, even though it's sporty, and also feels very solid going down a stretch of road. The Tesla Model 3, on the other hand, feels a little bit brittle and also very fidgety in its suspension. The suspension really never settles, and with short suspension travel and quite stiff setup, it's just not a comfortable car on bad pavement. Both noise levels and ride comfort should be improved with the new Tesla Model 3. So, I don't know. I have no idea how they compare yet. We're going to find that out in a future video though. Pricing is a little bit hard to compare directly between these two cars, because the base prices of these two cars do have very different levels of standard equipment, and also once you start speccing them, you can spec different things on these cars that you can't spec on the other car. For example, with the Polestar 2, you can spec the Nappa leather interior, which is a very pricey option but gives you a very luxurious interior that's not even available on a Tesla. But if you go and compare and configure these two cars as similar as possible, the Tesla is still going to be the best value and the cheapest car here as before. The price is unchanged for this facelifted version of that Tesla Model 3, which is great. So on average, you're looking at somewhere between 50 to 90,000 kroners more expensive for an equivalent Polestar 2. That's about 5,000 to 8,000 euros more expensive for a Polestar 2 compared to that Tesla Model 3. So at the end of the day, it really depends on what your budget is and how you value the different things. As things were before the pre-facelifted version of the Tesla Model 3, I value the way the Polestar 2 drives, just the ride comfort, the seat comfort, and also just the functionality and ergonomics of the interior, living with it on a daily basis, alongside with the really nice exterior design. That has changed somewhat for this facelifted version, but it really depends on how the Polestar 2 drives compared to this new Tesla Model 3 now. And we won't know that before, well, I test both of these two cars in real life and in person. So guys, which car would you buy? Do you think any of these are more attractive now than they were before? If so, which one? Let me know in the comment section down below. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.